Hello class, I'm Matthew Hacken, and this is my pitch presentation for Let It Flow. Some games have great soundtracks. I can think of many games with amazing soundtracks, but few of these games' soundtracks directly influence the gameplay. Today, I'm pleased to present to you a game where the music directly influences its gameplay. Let It Flow is a 2D side-scrolling adventure game devoted to the feeling of being a part of the music without all the nuances rhythm games like Guitar Hero or Dance Dance Revolution created. The player is attempting to complete levels by running and jumping from a start point to the end point. But it isn't that simple. Here's the catch. The player has music-based abilities, and each level has a beat, which follows the rhythm of the soundtrack. These beat bars move from the right to the left on the bottom of your screen. Pressing the rhythm keys while the beat bar is within your rhythm hitbox allows the character to unleash sound wave attacks and abilities. The control setup is simple. The player can run left or right by pressing the arrow keys on their controller, or single jump by pressing up. You don't need to press these buttons in with the rhythm in order for them to work. This basic movement is just like any other side-scroller. In addition to movement, the player will have two buttons they can press. Each of these buttons control a color at the bottom of the screen, either orange or blue. These are like Mega Man's shoot buttons, except that you have to follow the rhythm in order to use them. Hitting the beat bars, as shown in this example, activates your ability and increases your score. Depending on which state the player hits a beat bar in, different abilities are used. If the player is in the air when they hit a beat bar, the player double jumps and shoots a shockwave downward. Otherwise, as seen in this example, they shoot a shockwave. If you fail to hit a beat bar while it is in your hitbox, you will not only lose points, but your abilities will not activate. The player will encounter enemies in the levels. These enemies have simple AI, much like Goombas from Super Mario. A single blast will defeat them, but if you run into them, you will die. The creatures are simple to kill and offer little challenge, but they have a punishing consequence if you mess up your timing and run into them. The goal of the game is to complete levels with the highest score possible. The players are encouraged to play along to the beat between combat and platforming in order to increase their score. But if the player chooses to stop tapping along, they do not take penalties. Let It Flow has two main risks: music and animation. Music is complex, and we have to acquire good music for this to work out perfectly. The game is largely based on music, so if we don't have good music, we don't have a game. This is a 2D side-scroller, so I imagine there will be a few animations we need to get a hold of. We do not have an animation team, so most of it will have to be done by the designers themselves. This is challenging, but I don't think it is too difficult for the simplistic art style I imagine. Lastly, I want to thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed Let It Flow.